before he became the face of Hollywood. He was a broken child no one believed in. A boy who couldn't read properly. Beaten at home. Mocked at school. They said he would never succeed. But that same boy grew up to risk his life on screen, defy Hollywood's rules, and become one of the greatest stars of all time. This is not just Tom Cruise's success story. This is a story of pain, faith, and an unbreakable fire. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Dive into what really happened. Before the fame, before the confident smile, before the impossible missions that made him a global icon, there was a fragile boy the world nearly broke. Tom Cruise was not born into comfort, privilege, or certainty. His childhood was unstable, frightening, and deeply lonely. His family moved constantly, chasing work and escaping problems. By the age of just 14, Tom had lived in more than 15 different homes. Each move meant a new school, new faces, and the same feeling of never belonging anywhere. Home safety was an illusion. His father was emotionally and physically abusive, a man Tom later described as a bully who made you feel safe and then hurt you. Young Tom learned to stay alert, to read moods, to protect himself in silence. Childhood for him was not about joy, it was about survival. School offered no refuge. Tom struggled with severe dyslexia, a learning disability that made reading exhausting and humiliating. Words on a page refused to stay still. Teachers misunderstood his struggle, assuming he wasn't trying hard enough. Classmates laughed, whispered, and labeled him as slow or lazy. Every failure chipped away at his confidence. Inside, Tom felt invisible, angry, confused. He knew he was capable of more, but the world refused to see it. Each report card, each insult, each punishment reinforced the same cruel message. You are not enough. But pain has a strange way of shaping destiny. In high school, Tom stumbled upon something unexpected: acting. When he stepped onto a stage, something changed. For the first time in his life, he felt control. The fear faded. The noise disappeared. On stage, he wasn't the broken kid with learning problems or the abused child hiding his scars. He was powerful. He was heard. He was seen. Acting gave him a voice when the world had silenced him. It became his escape and his purpose. That stage lit a fire inside him, a fire born from pain but fueled by belief. That moment didn't just change Tom Cruise's future. It saved him. And unknowingly, it marked the beginning of a legend the world would one day never forget. With only $500 in his pocket and no safety net behind him, Tom Cruise walked into Hollywood knowing one truth: failure was not an option. He had nothing to fall back on. No powerful connections. No guarantee. Just a burning belief that he was meant for something more. The early 1980s were brutal in Hollywood. Dreams were crushed daily. Rejection wasn't an exception. It was the rule. Tom slept on friends' couches, borrowed clothes, and spent his days running from audition to audition. Casting rooms were cold and indifferent. Doors closed faster than they opened. Each no tested his resolve, but quitting was never part of his vocabulary. What set Tom apart wasn't luck. It was obsessive determination. While others waited for opportunities, Tom created them. He arrived early. He stayed late. He studied every rejection, learning how to be better the next time. Every setback became fuel. Then came risky business. That famous scene, sliding across the floor in socks, was more than entertainment. It was rebellion. It was Tom Cruise declaring that he would not blend in, would not play safe, and would not ask for permission to exist. Hollywood noticed. Audiences connected. A star was rising. Soon after, Top Gun changed everything. Almost overnight, Tom Cruise became the face of a generation. Posters covered bedroom walls. Fame, money, and admiration poured in. From the outside, it looked like he had won. But inside, the old insecurities still lived. The broken child hadn't disappeared. Success didn't erase his past. It challenged him to rise beyond it. While others celebrated fame, Tom went back to work. harder than ever. He trained relentlessly, studied characters with intensity, and demanded more from himself than anyone else ever could. He refused to be just another star. He wanted to earn respect, not just applause. Every role was a test. Every film was a chance to prove he belonged. Tom wasn't chasing popularity. He was chasing greatness. And he was willing to sacrifice comfort, ease, and even personal peace to reach it. Because when you come from nothing, you fight like you have everything to lose, and everything to prove. When the world loved him most, it also judged him the hardest. At the height of his career, when Tom Cruise's name alone could guarantee box office success, he made choices that shocked Hollywood. His open and unapologetic commitment to Scientology transformed public admiration into intense controversy. Suddenly, the conversation was no longer about his performances. It was about his beliefs. The media turned ruthless. Interviews were replayed, criticized, and taken out of context. Headlines labeled him unpredictable, extreme, even unstable. Late-night shows mocked him. Social media amplified every moment. Behind closed doors, studio executives whispered that Tom Cruise had become difficult and risky to work with. Many believed this was the beginning of the end. Hollywood had seen it before. Stars who rose too high, spoke too freely, and fell just as fast. Critics predicted his downfall with confidence. Some expected him to disappear quietly, humbled by rejection. But Tom Cruise did something unexpected. He didn't run. He didn't hide. And he didn't apologize for being himself. Faith, whether understood or misunderstood, became his anchor. In an industry that constantly reshapes personalities to protect profits, Tom chose to stand firm. He refused to trade his identity for approval. Standing alone was painful, but compromise would have been worse. The consequences were real. His career took visible hits. Major opportunities slowed. Relationships failed under pressure. His personal life became public entertainment, analyzed and judged by strangers who knew only fragments of the truth. Every move was watched. Every word was criticized. Yet through the chaos, one thing never changed: his discipline. While the noise grew louder, Tom grew quieter. He stopped chasing validation and returned to what had always saved him: the work. He focused on storytelling, on character, on craft, on preparation. He trained harder, worked longer, and demanded excellence from himself, not applause from the crowd. There were no dramatic speeches, no public redemption arc, just patience, consistency, and quiet rebuilding. Slowly, film by film, Tom Cruise reminded the world why he mattered, not because of controversy, but because of commitment. The same fire born from childhood pain was still alive, still burning. And once again, against expectations, he rose, not by changing who he was, but by standing exactly where he believed he belonged. Most stars fade. Legends evolve. Tom Cruise refused to age the way Hollywood expected him to. In an industry that quietly pushes older faces aside, Tom chose a different path. While others slowed down, accepted safer roles, or disappeared from the spotlight, he did the opposite. He ran faster. He trained harder. He went higher, literally. With the Mission Impossible franchise, Tom Cruise didn't just star in action films. He redefined them. At a time when computer effects and stunt doubles became the norm, Tom insisted on realism. He climbed the world's tallest buildings. He clung to the side of airplanes during takeoff. He jumped from helicopters, raced motorcycles off cliffs, and placed his life on the line for authenticity. Not for ego, not for headlines, but for excellence. Every stunt was calculated, rehearsed, and earned through discipline. At an age when many actors comfortably retire, Tom trained like a professional athlete. His days were filled with intense physical conditioning, precision planning, and relentless preparation. There were no shortcuts, no safety excuses, no stand-ins to take the risk for him. Why? Because pain had taught him discipline from childhood. Faith had given him focus during controversy. And fire, pure inner fire, had given him purpose. That fire refused to dim with age. Instead, it burned brighter with every challenge. Each stunt became a message to the world. I'm still here. I'm still capable. I'm not done. Audiences felt it. They didn't just watch his films. They experienced them. The realism created trust. The dedication created admiration. Box office numbers soared. Theaters filled. A new generation discovered Tom Cruise, not as a fading star, but as an unstoppable force. Critics, once skeptical, returned with respect. The same industry that had doubted him now studied him. Tom Cruise wasn't chasing relevance. He was defining it. He proved that greatness doesn't come from youth, trends, or luck. Comes from commitment. From refusing to quit. From choosing effort over comfort, again and again. Tom Cruise didn't just survive Hollywood. He outworked it. He outlasted it. And in doing so, he became something rare. A living legend still at full speed. Tom Cruise is not just a movie star. He is proof. Proof that a broken childhood does not get the final word on your future. Proof that growing up in fear and instability does not mean you are destined to live without purpose. Proof that the wounds of the past can become the foundation of strength. He is proof that learning disabilities do not limit greatness. A boy once mocked for struggling to read grew into a man who memorized scripts, led billion-dollar franchises, and commanded the world's attention. His challenges did not disappear, but he learned how to rise above them. He is proof that faith, especially controversial faith, can become a source of inner strength. In moments when the world turned against him, when public opinion shifted and support faded, his beliefs gave him stability. Whether others understood it or not, faith grounded him when everything else felt uncertain. And he is proof that age is not an ending. It is a challenge. While the world quietly expects people to slow down, Tom Cruise continues to push forward. He refuses to accept limits placed on him by time, trends, or expectations. Every role, every stunt, every performance is a reminder that growth does not stop with age. It evolves. His life is written in pain that shaped him, guided by faith that grounded him, driven by fire that never went out. But Tom Cruise's story is not about perfection. It is about persistence. It is about showing up when quitting feels easier. It is about discipline when motivation fades. It is about commitment when applause disappears. Long after the lights fade and the screens go dark, what remains is not fame. It is impact. And that is why his story continues to inspire millions around the world, especially those who were once told they were not enough, those who were misunderstood, those who felt invisible. Because Tom Cruise's journey reminds us of a powerful truth. Sometimes the most impossible mission is not climbing buildings, defying gravity, or risking your life on screen.